this hour for Wednesday, August 6, 2025, JLP condemns a shooting incident targeting MP Donovan Williams and campaign team in central Kingston. Dr. Damian Blake calls Holness's reply to opposition's financial criticism a dual defense and strategy. Manchester crash driver freed for a review of CCTV footage. In news from the rest of the world, former TNT Prime Minister wins land dispute case at Privy Council. 5 soldiers injured and suspect detained after shooting at military base in Georgia. And in sport, local coach says West Ham's Antonio exit just business, not personal. The details after this.
News at 5 teasers were brought to you by Advanced Scales and Equipment. Service is our total commitment.
The wait is over. Spark is coming to you. Across Jamaica, we'll be fixing 10 roads per constituency. Over 100 roads will be fixed by September and 630 roads overall. This is real action, real improvement, real results. Every Jamaican deserves safer, stronger roads. Spark, the next chapter in Jamaica's infrastructure development.
The JLP is strongly condemning Tuesday night's shooting targeting MP Donovan Williams and his campaign team in central Kingston. Chairman of the JLP campaign committee, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says such acts of political intimidation will not be tolerated.
Jamaica Labour Party strongly condemns the shooting incident which took place in central Kingston involving our Member of Parliament and prospective candidate for the next general elections, Mr. Donovan Williams. We are happy to note that no one was hurt, but it could have been so much worse. We condemn any and every act of intimidation or violence in this upcoming season where we expect general elections to be called soon. We do not represent this kind of politics. We believe in democracy, freedom of expression, freedom of choice, and we have fought long and hard to preserve this approach.
The incident occurred at the corner of Lower South Camp Road and Tower Street in a section of Parade Gardens, popularly known as Southside. A GLP campaign vehicle was damaged by a bullet. Reports are Williams, his bodyguard, and members of his campaign team were erecting campaign signs when a vehicle approached on Tower Street. 2 men were observed coming from the vehicle and walking in the direction of Williams. A member of the crowd raised an alarm, and the men in the vicinity of Williams took evasive action. The sudden dispersal of the crowd prompted the unknown assailants to open fire while attempting to retreat to their vehicle. They reportedly made good on their escape. Williams, the first-term MP, is seeking a second term after breaking the PMP's traditional hold on the seat in the 2020 general election. Dr. Tufton is urging the police to conduct a swift investigation.
We call on the police to move swiftly in their investigation and hope that the perpetrators will be brought to an appropriate justice. In the meantime, we will continue to provide guidance and maturity on the ground, urging our supporters to be faithful to the principles of democracy and freedom of choice without any acts of intimidation or violence.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, chairman of the GLP campaign committee. Meanwhile, the political ombudsman says it has taken note of the incident of gunfire in the Kingston Central constituency on Tuesday, August 5. According to a statement from the ombudsman's office, while the circumstances surrounding the incident remain unconfirmed, the entity is calling for calm and cooperation with the police as they conduct investigations into the occurrence. The political ombudsman says it remains adamant that acts of violence, retaliation, and intimidation, politically motivated or otherwise, are to be neither accepted nor tolerated. It says these incidents of violence threaten to unravel the fabric of democracy, which the country has worked tirelessly to maintain. It was further declared that although there is a recognition that campaigning is intensifying and tensions may run high as the country approaches the general election, political actors and supporters should allow the electoral process to run its course without interference. Associate Professor of Political Science and Public Policy at Elon University, Dr. Damon Blake, believes Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness's response to the opposition's criticisms of his financial affairs is both a defense and political strategy. Dr. Blake was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday.
I think the Prime Minister's Goldstone remarks is really both a personal defense in light of the onslaught against him consistently by the opposition, but it's also a political branding and strategy, right? He's now positioning himself as being kind of the anti-elite kind of person. He didn't get any kind of inheritance, and that will resonate from a political culture perspective with people, particularly those, on the working class Jamaicans. So it's a personal defense, but also a strategy. And I think of the Lula da Silva of Brazil, for example, right? A populist kind of strategy to say that I am part of the people, I am from the people, I wasn't given any kind of gold spoon or old money.
The Prime Minister's finances have been one of the central talking points of the PNP for several months following the non-certification of his statutory declarations. Speaking at a JLP meeting on the weekend, Dr. Holness said he became successful from humble beginnings as opposed to being raised with a gold spoon. Dr. Blake notes that this is a tactic that has been used by former Prime Ministers in an effort to relate to Jamaicans.
The issues of race, class, and color is always and ever present. And so, his use of it is not new. Let's not forget, at one point in time, former Prime Minister Percival James Patterson, when he said it's black man time now, again, pulling on the kind of color / variable there as part of a kind of a political branding and strategy. So it isn't anything really new. I think what gives Dr. Holness some agency here is that, the rhetoric and matching that with the kind of deliverables that his party has been kind of putting out there. I think those two things are quite potent going into the election.
Dr. Damon Blake, Associate Professor of Political Science and Public Policy at Elon University. Meanwhile, Director of the Caribbean Development Research Services, Peter Wickham, believes the debate around race and class of leaders is not something voters will think about when they head to the polls.
My sense is that it is for a lot of people a distraction. The thing that fascinated me about the race discussion in Jamaica is however, it's a slightly different one. It's more like skin, dark skin, and it's very heavily couched in class. And you recall that the same P.J. Patterson that said it was black man time now. P.J. Patterson had a major financial scandal as well. And, many people argue that the challenge wasn't really that he did anything wrong. The challenge was that he was a little too dark for the type of person that, Jamaicans were in the habit of electing. My inclination is to think that the vast majority of people find this a distraction, and ultimately they vote for the person, based either on their political loyalty or what excites them about the individual.
Peter Wickham, Director of the Caribbean Development Research Services, he was also speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. The driver of a Toyota Hiace involved in a fatal collision which claimed the life of a boy in Prospect, Manchester on Tuesday has been released. This after CCTV footage showed that the child rode a bicycle from behind a parked truck into the path of the Hiace. The 12-year-old child, Malik Barnes, was a student at Bull Savannah Primary School in St. Elizabeth. Police reports are about 3:20 p.m. The boy was riding a bicycle from the right side of the roadway to the left side. He went into the path of the Hiace and was struck from the bicycle. Young Malik was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The child's aunt, Nadine, spoke with our news center following Tuesday's tragic ordeal.
It was helpful. No matter what you're doing, he was the one. Man, this little boy him so helpful. The mother they are grown, a farm, and he did behind the mother, help the mother. Night sometime and night then go in, because they are grown with the mother.
Nadine, aunt of Malik Barnes. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has affirmed the government's commitment to improving working conditions for Marine Police. Dr. Chang was speaking during Tuesday's official opening of the newly constructed Anchovy Police Station in St. James.
There is an article recently on our Marine Patrol facilities. We know they are not in the best of shape and we work on getting those fixed. Maybe a look at part of that challenge was that you're aware that the Marine Police shares, they are the police, But in terms of the high seas patrol, the Coast Guard intervenes, been a lot of work there. And given the high incidence of violence, gang activity in what you'd call the territorial areas on land, the police stations that were serving communities across Jamaica kind of took a higher priority in being done. Not a matter of disregarding them, they are on the list and they'll be dealt with.
Dr. Horace Chang, National Security Minister. The Marine Police play a crucial role in safeguarding the nation's coastal waters and maritime interests. They are tasked with patrolling the island's territorial seas in combating illegal activities such as smuggling, drug trafficking, and unauthorized fishing. They also conduct search and rescue operations to protect lives at sea. A man and a woman have been charged following the seizure of 7 pounds of ammunition at the Sangster International Airport in St. James on Emancipation Day. Charged are 29-year-old Brian Witter, a security guard of Nain District in St. Elizabeth, and 46-year-old Vancia Peart of Pepper District, also in St. Elizabeth and the United States. Detectives from the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, report that about 11:30 a.m. on Friday, Peart was preparing to board a flight destined for the U.S. when she was subjected to a routine security screening. During the screening process, 7 rounds of ammunition were found in her luggage. She was taken into custody. Further investigations implicated Witter, who was later arrested. The duo was charged on Sunday. FNIT says 139 rounds of ammunition and 4 firearms have been seized at the Sangster International Airport since the start of the year. Business leader Keith Duncan, local government minister Desmond McKenzie, and Jamaica Stock Exchange managing director Marlene Street Forrest are among 3 Jamaicans to be appointed to the Order of Jamaica OJ on this year's National Honours and Awards list. The 3 are among 141 Jamaicans appointed to the Orders of the Societies of Honour and awarded badges of honour effective August 6. They'll be presented with their insignias on National Heroes Day, October 20. Duncan, who is CEO of JMMB Group and co-creator of Project Star, is being honoured for exceptional service in finance, business and social development. Until last year, he also chaired the Economic Programme Oversight Committee. Minister McKenzie is being recognised for his long-standing contributions to local government and representational politics. Street Forest is being awarded for her work in capital market development. To news now overseas. In the region, Trinidad and Tobago former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has Trinidad and Tobago's former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has secured a decisive legal victory at the Privy Council in a decades-long dispute over the sale of a parcel of land on the Alma Estate in Mason Hall, Tobago. In a ruling handed down on Tuesday, the UK-based Privy Council overturned a 2023 judgment by the Trinidad and Tobago Court of Appeal and reinstated the original 2017 High Court decision, which had favoured Rowley. The country's final appellate court found that the Court of Appeal wrongly interfered with the trial judge's findings of fact. In delivering the ruling, Lord Andrew Burrows criticized the Court of Appeal majority for misapplying the legal standards that limit appellate intervention in fact-based findings. The ruling also highlighted how prominently the original evidence featured in the trial proceedings and cross-examinations, rejecting the notion that the trial judge had failed to weigh it properly. With the Privy Council's ruling, Rowley's ownership of the 85.6-acre parcel is now legally affirmed. 5 soldiers were shot at Fort Stewart, Georgia on Wednesday, leading to a lockdown at the army base. Authorities were alerted to the incident about 10:56 a.m. Base officials say the injured soldiers were treated and then moved to Wynn Army Community Hospital. The identity of the suspect and the circumstances around the shooting remain unclear. However, the Army says investigations are ongoing. Fort Stewart trains and deploys active and reserve Army units and is home to the 3rd Infantry Division. And now to sport. Veteran local coach Andrew Price explained that it's just the nature of the business side of football why English Premier League outfit West Ham opted not to renew the contract of reggae boy Mikel Antonio. Graham Potter, head coach of West Ham, in a recent interview was asked about Antonio's future at the club, to which Potter was quoted as saying, "No, he's not going to play for West Ham. That's basically the point." Price believes Antonio's age may have been a factor in Potter's decision.
Unfortunate situation, having just come off the injury and trying to work his way back to fitness. but I am of the opinion that the coach believes that he's possibly excess players that he has right now, or they are force in the Premier League. And at 35, he's the other side of his career. So it's unfortunate, but sometimes you have to know when to say when, and it's an occupational hazard.
The 35-year-old striker was involved in a horrific car crash back in December 2024, which left him nursing multiple broken bones in his leg. Antonio has featured in 323 games for West Ham, scoring a total of 68 goals, which sees him being the club's leading goal scorer. Price says Antonio still has playing days left in his legs.
It will be in his best interest now to find another team. And I believe that there are teams out there in the Premier League and the Championship who would love to have an experienced player such as Mikel Antonio, who can assist them. Maybe he could sign a 2-year contract with one of those clubs that he can prolong his career.
Andrew Price, veteran football coach. Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour. JLP condemns shooting incident targeting MP Donovan Williams and campaign team in Central Kingston. Dr. Damian Blake calls Honest's reply to opposition's financial criticism a dual defense and a strategy. Manchester crash driver freed following review of CCTV footage. I'm Andrew Cannon. You can find the next newscast on the station tomorrow morning at 6, but you can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. Good afternoon.
It's IQ Optical's sizzling summer sale. For this month only, get 50% off lenses when you purchase a frame. Kids get free lenses with a purchase of a frame. Make the intelligent choice with IQ Optical. Conditions apply. The time by IQ Optical is
18 minutes after 5.
Rentokil Initial offers air purification solutions with triple filtration and unique auto-sensing capabilities that neutralizes malodor and replaces it with clean air. Call Rentokil Initial at 926-4236 for more details.
The temperature by Rentokil is...
It is 32 degrees Celsius in Kingston and 30 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
Now, PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV.
PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV.
Or do your thing with your queen or your king.
Or I get a little frisky that make you flex risky.
PrEP, are you extra bucketed?
To help you stay HIV negative.
PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV. PrEP tablets available at your clinic from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
A+ for back to school? Yep, you can score that. Just grab an A+ back to school loan from Access Financial. Why? Reduced interest rates, duh. Plus, you could win your loan interest free.
That's right. Apply for an A+ back to school loan and you could be entered to win your loan interest free in the Lucky Loans promotion.
From school fees to footwear, uniforms to book lists, we've got you covered.
For back to school, the only thing you need is a reduced rate loan from Access Financial's A+ back to school promotion. Conditions apply.
Experience the joy of buying a brand new Hyundai without breaking the bank. Yes, buying a brand new car should never leave you broke. From stylish designs and safety features to comfortable driving and reliability.